In the ancient and mystical land of Ireland, there existed a creature whose eerie wails and mournful cries struck terror into the hearts of those who heard them. This creature was none other than the Banshee, a legendary figure deeply woven into the rich tapestry of Irish folklore. The origins of the Banshee are shrouded in mystery, but the tale of her creation and the beliefs surrounding her have captivated the imaginations of generations. The word Banshee is derived from the Irish term Banshee, which translates to woman of the fairy mound. The Banshee is often described as a spectral woman, dressed in flowing garments, with long, unruly hair that she endlessly combs. Her most distinctive feature, however, is her mournful wailing. This eerie sound, reminiscent of a grieving woman, is said to foretell the death of a family member, particularly someone of noble or illustrious lineage. The origins of the Banshee are deeply rooted in Celtic mythology and the supernatural beliefs of the Irish people. Some scholars believe that the concept of the Banshee can be traced back to the ancient Celtic belief in keening. Keening was a tradition in which women would sing lamentations for the dead at funerals, a practice meant to both mourn the departed and ward off evil spirits. Over time, these mournful wails became associated with the supernatural, and the Banshee emerged as a distinct figure in Irish folklore. One prevailing theory about the invention of the Banshee suggests that she may have been inspired by the Banshee, a type of female fairy or spirit known for its association with death. In Celtic mythology, these fairy beings were believed to inhabit the fairy mounds or sidhe, and they were often seen as omens of impending doom. As Christianity spread across Ireland, pagan beliefs merged with Christian ones, and the Banshee evolved to incorporate elements of both traditions. She became a harbinger of death, believed to be sent by the fairies or the spirit world to warn or mourn the passing of a loved one. The concept of the Banshee grew in prominence during the Middle Ages, particularly among the Irish nobility. It was believed that the Banshee's appearance and wails were a powerful omen, a foretelling of death within the family. The Banshee's wailing, a mournful and haunting sound, was said to carry across the Irish countryside, striking fear into all who heard it. Those who encountered the Banshee knew that death was imminent, and preparations for a funeral would soon begin. While the exact origins of the Banshee remain a subject of debate and mystery, one thing is certain: this ethereal and enigmatic figure has left an indelible mark on Irish culture and folklore. Her haunting presence, her connection to the world of spirits, and her eerie wails continue to captivate the imagination and remind us of the ancient and enduring power of Irish mythology. The Banshee lives on, forever tied to the mystical and enchanting landscapes of the Emerald Isle. The Banshee, with her mournful cries and ethereal presence, is a mysterious figure in Irish folklore, but does she have desires and goals of her own? The answer lies within the enigmatic depths of her character. While the Banshee is not typically portrayed as having personal wants or ambitions in the same way humans do, her role in Irish folklore revolves around a specific purpose: to forewarn of impending death. Her goal, if you will, is to fulfill this solemn duty. When a Banshee appears and lets out her haunting wails, it's not out of malice or a desire to cause harm. Instead, it's a supernatural expression of grief and mourning. The Banshee's primary objective is to serve as a harbinger of death, especially within noble or illustrious Irish families. Her cries are believed to be an omen, signaling that someone in the household is on the brink of passing away. In this role, she is neither malevolent nor benevolent. She simply fulfills her designated purpose in the complex web of Irish folklore. It's essential to understand that the Banshee's actions are deeply rooted in ancient beliefs and superstitions. She is thought to be sent by the fairies or the spirit world to announce or mourn an impending death, and her wailing serves as a forewarning to the family so that they can make preparations for the impending funeral rites. Her appearance and actions are steeped in tradition and symbolism, making her an integral part of Irish culture and storytelling. In essence, the Banshee's goals are tied to her supernatural role as a messenger of death. She does not seek to interfere with the natural order of life and death, but rather, she acts as a conduit between the living and the spirit world. Her haunting presence and mournful cries are a reminder of the impermanence of life and the enduring connection between the earthly realm and the mystical beyond. So, while the Banshee may not possess personal desires or aspirations, her existence is a testament to the profound and complex belief systems that have shaped Irish folklore for centuries. She remains an enduring symbol of the mysteries of life, death, and the otherworldly, continuing to both fascinate and send shivers down the spines of those who hear her eerie wails echoing through the Irish countryside. The Banshee, with her haunting presence and mournful cries, is often depicted as a solitary figure in Irish folklore, and there is no widely recognized lore regarding a structured Banshee society or a formal hierarchy among them. Instead, the Banshee is typically portrayed as a solitary and otherworldly being, fulfilling her unique role as a harbinger of death. In Irish folklore, each Banshee is believed to be tied to a specific family or lineage, often one of noble or illustrious descent. She is thought to be a guardian spirit of sorts, watching over and announcing the imminent death of a family member. This individual connection suggests that Banshees do not typically interact with each other in any organized or hierarchical manner. The Banshee's primary interaction is with the human world, specifically with the family she is bound to. When a death is approaching, she manifests herself through her eerie wailing and sometimes through physical appearances, such as combing her long hair near a body of water. These interactions are deeply rooted in Irish superstition and tradition, with the Banshee acting as a messenger between the realms of the living and the dead. It's worth noting that Banshees are often portrayed as solitary figures, perhaps reflecting the idea that their duty is a deeply personal and individual one. Their focus is on serving their designated family and ensuring that the impending death is recognized and acknowledged. This lack of a structured society or hierarchy among Banshees underscores their role as enigmatic and mysterious beings who exist on the fringes of human understanding. In summary, there is no established lore or detailed information regarding a Banshee society or hierarchy. Instead, Banshees are solitary entities bound to specific families, fulfilling their role as messengers of death in Irish folklore. Their interactions are primarily with the human world, serving as harbingers of impending doom and emphasizing the deep connections between the supernatural and the mortal realms in the rich tapestry of Irish mythology. In the realms of Irish folklore, the Banshee is more of an otherworldly harbinger than a figure embroiled in conflicts or having distinct enemies. Her role is primarily to announce impending death, particularly within specific noble or illustrious Irish families, and to guide the souls of the departed to the afterlife. However, there are certain entities and forces in Irish mythology that could be seen as adversarial or opposed to the Banshee's functions. While the Banshee herself is not considered evil, Irish folklore is replete with various malevolent spirits and supernatural entities. These spirits, often associated with darkness and mischief, could be considered adversaries in the sense that they might disrupt the peaceful transition of a soul from the mortal realm to the afterlife. Banshees, with their mournful wails, are believed to help protect the deceased from such malevolent forces by announcing their departure. In Celtic mythology, The fairies or the Sidhi inhabit the fairy mounds or Sidhi, and they are known for their capricious and sometimes unpredictable nature. While not necessarily enemies, the Sidhi exist in a parallel world to the mortal one, and their interactions with humans can be fraught with both wonder and danger. The Banshee's connection to the spirit world, including the Sidhi, may involve navigating these complex relationships, but it is not one of outright enmity. In the modern world, belief in banshees and other supernatural beings has waned, replaced by scientific explanations for natural phenomena. Skepticism and disbelief could be considered a kind of opposition to the banshee's traditional role, as her warnings may go unheeded or be dismissed as mere superstition. However, this is more a societal change than a direct conflict between the banshee and any specific enemy. It's important to note that the banshee's role in Irish folklore is primarily rooted in tradition, symbolism, and the complexities of life and death. She is not typically portrayed as engaged in battles or conflicts with specific adversaries. Instead, her focus is on fulfilling her unique role as a messenger of death and a guardian of certain families, bridging the gap between the mortal and supernatural realms in the rich and captivating world of Irish mythology. The Banshee, while most commonly associated with Irish folklore, shares similarities with various supernatural beings and concepts from cultures around the world. Let's explore some intriguing facts about the Banshee across different cultures. In Scottish folklore, a similar spirit called the Bean Nigh or washerwoman is believed to haunt desolate streams and rivers. She is often seen washing the blood-stained clothes of those destined to die. Encountering her is an eerie omen of death. In Welsh mythology, the Banshee finds an equivalent in the Hag of the Mist or Saihirith. This spectral entity is known for her mournful cries, which carry across the valleys and hills. Her presence is said to foreshadow death or disaster, striking fear into those who hear her wailing. Germany has its own version of a female spirit known as the Weiße Frauen or White Women. These entities are often associated with burial mounds, castles, or ancient ruins. While not directly tied to death predictions like the Irish Banshee, they are believed to be protectors of these locations, and their appearance may foretell misfortune or upheaval. Across various Celtic-influenced regions, including Scotland and parts of England, the Cailleach is a supernatural figure often associated with the winter season and death. She is sometimes linked to the Banshee or other death-related folklore, emphasizing the interconnectedness of Celtic beliefs. Beyond the Celtic world, similar entities with connections to death and foretelling have been found in different cultures. For instance, in Hispanic folklore, La Llorona is a weeping woman who mourns the loss of her children and is often linked to ominous events. While these variations of the Banshee share common themes of female spirits associated with death, each culture imbues its own unique characteristics and symbolism into these entities. The Banshee, in particular, remains a captivating and enduring figure in the world of folklore, reflecting humanity's timeless fascination with the mysteries of life, death, and the supernatural. The tales of the Banshee are not confined solely to folklore. There have been intriguing instances where real-life events led people to believe they had encountered this supernatural harbinger of death. One such incident is associated with Lady Augusta Gregory, an influential figure in the Irish literary revival. In 1899, at her home in Coole Park, County Galway, Lady Gregory and her guests reported a spine-chilling encounter. Late at night, they heard a blood-curdling scream emanating from the garden. Convinced that they had heard the wail of the Banshee, they were filled with dread. The next morning, they learned of the passing of a dear friend, which seemed to lend eerie credibility to their encounter. Dromoland Castle, located in County Clare, Ireland, has its own haunting connection to the Banshee. The O'Brien family, who once resided there, believed they were cursed by the Banshee. In 1904, when the heir to the estate, Cornelius O'Brien, passed away suddenly, his death was preceded by a series of eerie wails and cries heard around the castle. The locals and family members were convinced it was the Banshee foretelling his demise. In the early 20th century, the McMahon family of County Monaghan, Ireland, had a chilling encounter with what they believed to be the Banshee. In 1908, a group of family members returning from a wake saw a spectral figure hovering over a nearby lake. The figure emitted mournful wails that sent shivers down their spines. Days later, they received news of the passing of one of their kin, and they were convinced that the Banshee's appearance had forewarned them. In the heart of Dublin, a Banshee sighting caused quite a stir in 1963. A woman reported seeing a ghostly figure dressed in white outside her window, weeping and wailing in the dead of night. The eerie encounter deeply unnerved her. A few days later, news broke of a tragic car accident that claimed the lives of several individuals, including one with ties to the woman who had witnessed the apparition. Many believed it to be a Banshee's lament. These real-life encounters with what people believed to be Banshees serve as captivating testaments to the enduring power of folklore and superstition in Irish culture. While these occurrences can often be attributed to natural phenomena or other factors, they continue to fuel the mystique surrounding the Banshee, leaving a lingering sense of the supernatural in the hearts and minds of those who experience them. In Irish folklore, the Banshee's wailing cries are not just eerie sounds, they are believed to take the form of a haunting lamenting song. This mournful melody is said to have the power to evoke profound emotions, often stirring feelings of sadness and foreboding. The Banshee's song is an ethereal and haunting reminder of the impermanence of life, and it is thought to have been composed by the spirits themselves. While the Banshee is most famously associated with foretelling death, some versions of her lore depict her as a guardian spirit as well. In this role, she watches over certain families and offers protection in times of danger. In times of conflict or turmoil, it is believed that the Banshee may appear to warn her chosen family members of impending threats or guide them to safety. The Banshee has made her mark in literature beyond folklore. Notable authors, such as W.B. Yeats and William Allingham, have featured the Banshee in their works. Yeats, in his poem The Banshee, captures the eerie essence of her presence, and Allingham, in The Banshee's Hymn, explores the idea of the Banshee as a mystical and alluring figure. The Banshee has not been confined to the pages of history. She continues to inspire modern interpretations and adaptations in literature, film, and popular culture. In contemporary works, the Banshee is often portrayed as a supernatural being with a complex mix of foreboding and allure, embodying the enduring fascination with the mysterious and the otherworldly. While the Banshee is most well known in Irish folklore, similar spirits with death-related roles can be found in other cultures. In Mexico, for instance, La Llorona is a weeping woman believed to mourn the loss of her children and is often associated with misfortune. These variations underscore the universal human fascination with death and the supernatural. In the vast tapestry of world folklore, the Banshee stands as a testament to the enduring power of myth and legend. Her mournful cries, her connection to death, and her presence as a guardian or harbinger continue to captivate our imaginations, reminding us of the intricate web of stories that shape our understanding of the unknown and the mystical.